One evening, Ben, a local handyman, was walking his dog near an empty field when he heard strange noises coming from a small mound of dirt. Intrigued and a bit uneasy, he cautiously approached, using a stick to gently poke at the mysterious lump. As the earth moved, the noise became louder, more distinct, and oddly familiar. What he saw next turned his face completely pale, his mind racing with confusion. "Milo, stay!" Ben ordered. He couldn't be sure yet, but he knew he had to get some tools. Knowing that his friend John was closer to the field than his home was, he immediately started sprinting towards his home. His old age was now far behind him as the adrenaline pushed him to knock loudly on his friend's door, knowing he didn't have time to lose. John opened the door, looking confused. "What's up, Ben?" he asked. "I need your help and your tools. Quick, hurry," he said. John listened without question as the two quickly grabbed John's tools and made their way back. There, Milo was still waiting for them, his eyes not going off the lump of dirt. However, it seemed to be moving less than it had before. He feared he could already be too late, and a cold sweat started gathering on the back of his neck. The two started carefully excavating the lump, trying to ensure they wouldn't hurt whatever was trapped underneath. Yet, what could possibly be trapped underneath the dirt? Was the animal all right? And most importantly, who could possibly have done such a thing? Ben had lived in this beautiful spot near the woods for decades. Everyone knew him and his dog Milo, and he would say he had made friends with his neighbors. He had made sure to build a nice community. He had many lifelong friends living near him, and there never seemed to be a complaint about neighborhood safety. However, it seemed like that was about to change. He was taking the route he and many of his neighbors would often take. Going into the woods was a lovely stroll. It had been the final walk of the day for him and Milo as the sun was setting and Ben would wake up early in the morning again. He thought he would have a nice sleep after he tired out Milo with a nice game of fetch. No clue how that game would actually pan out. Entering a nice open field on the last leg of their walk, Ben took out Milo's favorite ball. Milo, who saw, immediately started to wag his tail, the excitement evident in the dog's posture. Though the two of them had walked for a long time and Milo had done what he needed to do, the energy of the dog was still not quenched. Ben knew a game of fetch would quickly remedy such a thing. Milo was quick to excite, but even he would be tired after chasing after multiple balls. He was lucky that Ben knew how to throw a mean ball. With the sun going down, Ben hadn't seen the change in the field. The partially obscured lump eluded him, but it wouldn't get past Milo. At first, Ben grabbed the ball and hurled it to the other side of the field, which in turn made Milo dash after it, trying to retrieve it. He did this quite a few times in all different kinds of directions. He didn't want Milo running to a certain place before he had thrown it, which meant he had to keep the dog on its toes. That was until Milo didn't return with the ball. Ben had thrown it southward, and though it had initially run after it, it was just standing there a couple of yards out. Ben's brow frowned at this. "Milo, come fetch the ball!" Ben yelled for Milo to hear. But regardless of his command, Milo wasn't moving. Ben couldn't figure out what was wrong from so far away, so instead of yelling at his dog, he decided to make his way over. It was then that Milo started barking. The sudden sound only confused Ben more. This was something that Milo hardly ever did. Since the dog had been a pup brought up by Ben, he had taught it to never bark needlessly, so this behavior was very uncharacteristic. Ben knew by that bark alone that something must have been wrong. Because of that, it didn't take long for Ben to jog toward him. When he arrived at where Milo stood, he started looking around, scanning the perimeter. You see, he thought that Milo was seeing something in the distance, along the tree line. Except that was until Milo started barking again. This time, Ben saw he wasn't barking into the distance, but looking at something strange on the ground. Ben's brow furrowed as he looked at a lump of dirt on the field. He had never seen that there before and walked here this morning. Had someone dug here unbeknownst to him, Or was there some weird mole infestation he did not yet know about? Milo, seeing his owner looking at the dirt, walked up and sniffed the top. That was until he noticed a slight stir coming from it. Ben almost took an instinctive step back. What caused that pile to move? Ben knew he had to find out and forced himself to move closer. He took caution as he moved, trying not to show the fact that he was actually scared. If Milo was that close to it, then it should be no issue for him to do the same. That was until he noticed a strange sound coming from it. Ben carefully prodded the mysterious lump with a stick, discovering faint movements beneath the dirt's surface. Sounds, soft yet unmistakable, emanated from within, suggesting something alive was trapped inside. With each poke, the sounds grew slightly clearer, confirming Ben's suspicion of a living creature struggling for freedom. The realization set his heart racing, pushing him into action to save the unknown animal. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Ben knew he couldn't manage alone. He instructed Milo to stay and watch over the site, ensuring nothing further disturbed the trapped creature. With a sense of urgency, he dashed towards his friend John's house, navigating the familiar path with swift strides. Upon arriving, Ben wasted no time explaining the urgent need for assistance in rescuing the distressed animal. Together, Ben and John acted quickly, understanding the urgency of the situation. They rummaged through John's shed, selecting shovels and other tools that would aid in the careful extraction of the animal. Their actions were swift and determined, driven by a shared commitment to help the creature in distress. With tools in hand, they prepared to return to the field, united in their mission to save a life. The race against time began as Ben and John hurried back to the field, their tools clanking with each hurried step. The setting sun cast long shadows, adding a sense of urgency to their mission. Milo waited patiently by the lump of dirt, his presence marking the spot of their rescue operation. The duo approached, their resolve strengthened by the sight of Milo guarding the site. Approaching the lump, Ben and John prepared to uncover the trapped creature. With shovels ready, they planned their strategy, aiming to dig carefully to avoid causing any harm. Their determination was palpable, a testament to their resolve to help the helpless. As they began to dig, the soft sounds from within the lump continued, a reminder of the urgency of their mission and the life that hung in the balance. Back at the field, Ben and John found Milo alert and focused, standing watch over the nearly still lump of dirt. Their concern deepened at the sight, prompting a quick reassessment of the situation. The lack of movement from the lump suggested the animal inside was weakening, making the need for a swift rescue even more critical. They shared a determined look, readying themselves to begin the operation. With shovels in hand, Ben and John commenced the careful excavation around the lump. They moved deliberately, ensuring each scoop of dirt was lifted without disturbing the fragile life beneath. The sounds of their tools against the earth were gentle yet urgent as they worked to create a safe passage for the trapped animal. Their focus was singular, to reach the creature without causing any further distress. Working side by side, Ben and John exhibited seamless teamwork, each aware of the other's movements to maintain a delicate balance between speed and care. Their shovels removed the dirt in synchronized motions, reflecting their shared commitment to the rescue. The collaboration between them was evident, with each adjustment made in perfect accord to ensure the safety of the hidden animal. As they dug, the lump's diminished movement became increasingly apparent, a worrying indicator of the animal's condition. This observation spurred Ben and John to intensify their efforts, moving with renewed urgency. They carefully accelerated their work, mindful not to compromise their gentle approach, but aware that time was running out for the creature awaiting their help. Their goal to save the animal brought Ben and John closer, their actions driven by a deep sense of compassion and duty. This unified purpose guided their hands as they worked to uncover the mystery buried in the earth. Their commitment to the welfare of the trapped creature was evident in every careful stroke of their shovels, a testament to their determination to make a difference. Ben took the lead with precision, using the stick not just as a tool, but as an extension of his careful intent. He guided John in digging around the periphery of the lump, ensuring they maintained a safe distance from the animal. Their actions were methodical, with Ben occasionally adjusting their approach to navigate closer to the creature, all the while prioritizing its safety above all. In the midst of their careful excavation, John's shovel unearthed something unexpected, a piece of fabric partially buried in the dirt. The discovery halted their movements as John held up the fabric for Ben to see. Recognizing the potential significance of this find, they decided it was time to seek professional help. John pulled out his phone, ready to make a call that could bring the expertise they needed. With the fabric hinting at human involvement, Ben and John knew they needed more than just their determination to save the animal. John dialed the local vet, requesting an animal ambulance with urgency in his voice. He explained the situation briefly, emphasizing the need for immediate assistance. The call was a pivotal moment, ensuring that the creature would soon receive the professional care it desperately needed. Understanding the importance of the fabric, Ben carefully placed it back on the ground, ensuring it remained undisturbed for the authorities to examine. This piece of evidence could be crucial in understanding how the animal came to be in its predicament. Ben and John stepped back from the fabric, respecting its potential role in the unfolding mystery, their minds racing with questions about what it could reveal. With the call made, Ben and John found themselves in a tense state of anticipation, watching the field for any sign of the arriving vet. They stayed close to the excavation site, their attention divided between guarding the uncovered animal and scanning the horizon for the animal ambulance. The wait was a test of their patience, their commitment to the animal's well-being keeping them anchored to the spot, hopeful for the assistance that was on its way. As they carefully removed the surrounding dirt, Ben and John revealed a patch of fur and part of a head. The sight of the fur sparked curiosity and concern, marking the first visual evidence of the trapped animal's identity. They paused for a moment, taking in the sight of the creature that had been hidden beneath the earth, its condition a silent plea for help. With the creature partially exposed, Ben began to mentally sift through the types of animals it could be, comparing the visible features to those he knew. None of the local wildlife seemed to match the appearance of this being. Each guess was met with doubt, as the peculiar fur and shape of the head did not align with any familiar species, leaving them puzzled but more determined to help. The animal's soft whines pierced the quiet of the evening, pulling at Ben and John's heartstrings. The sound was a stark reminder of the creature's vulnerability and need for immediate care. It motivated them to proceed with even greater caution, ensuring no further harm would come to it as they worked to free it from its earthen prison. The knowledge that the vet and animal ambulance were on their way filled Ben and John with a mix of anxiety and hope. The professionals would soon arrive with the expertise and equipment needed to properly assess and treat the animal. This anticipation of help provided a glimmer of hope that the answers to their questions and the assistance the creature needed were just moments away. Together, Ben and John shared a silent hope that the incoming veterinarians would be able to quickly identify and save the animal. Their concerted efforts, driven by a mutual desire to rescue the weakened creature, had led them to this point. As they waited for the arrival of the vet, their thoughts were focused on the well-being of the animal, hoping for a positive outcome to their unexpected rescue mission. Ben and John, after uncovering the animal, decided not to move it. Aware of its potential wild nature and the risk of causing stress or injury, they agreed to wait for the vet to arrive. This decision reflected their careful approach, ensuring the animal's well-being remained their top priority. They stood by, watchful and ready to protect it from any further harm until professional help could take over. John, considering the situation's complexity, suggested they might be dealing with more than just an animal rescue. Concerned about the possibility of criminal activity related to the animal's predicament, he proposed calling the police. This step would widen their response to include safeguarding the area and investigating the circumstances that led to the animal's unfortunate state, ensuring all bases were covered. Taking John's advice, Ben dialed the police, carefully explaining their discovery and the condition of the animal. He detailed the location and their concern for the creature's well-being, requesting immediate assistance. By contacting law enforcement, Ben ensured that the situation would be handled comprehensively, with both the animal's health and the potential legal implications considered. With the call made, Ben and John took on a protective stance near the animal, vigilantly keeping watch over it. They were determined to guard the scene, preserving it for the arriving authorities and medical team. This act of guardianship demonstrated their deep commitment to the animal's safety and their responsibility to ensure it received the care and justice it deserved. Their actions, from the careful excavation to contacting the police, showcased a unified commitment to the animal's welfare and a proactive stance against potential wrongdoing. Ben and John's teamwork, driven by empathy and a sense of duty, highlighted their shared purpose: to provide aid and seek justice for the vulnerable creature they had found. Their resolve remained firm as they awaited the arrival of both the vet and the police, ready to assist further. Ben took the lead in detailing the situation to the police, explaining their discovery of the injured animal and the suspicious fabric. His voice conveyed the urgency and concern for the animal's well-being, stressing the possibility of illegal activity being involved. He was thorough, ensuring the police understood the seriousness of the situation and the need for their immediate presence at the scene. The officers on the line assured Ben of a swift response, advising him and John to remain at the location and keep the scene undisturbed. Their promise of quick action brought a momentary relief to Ben and John, who understood the importance of preserving evidence for the authorities. They agreed, committing to wait as long as necessary for the officers to arrive. While waiting, Ben and John engaged in quiet conversation, speculating on what might have led to the animal's distressing situation. Their discussion was filled with concern for the creature and curiosity about the circumstances surrounding its burial. They pondered various scenarios, each more troubling than the last, reinforcing their determination to see the matter resolved. Their talk naturally drifted towards the broader implications of their discovery, reflecting on the impact such incidents could have on local wildlife. Ben and John shared a mutual concern for the safety and well-being of the area's animals, expressing a strong desire to see justice served. Their conversation underscored a deep-rooted commitment to protecting their local environment and its inhabitants. As the anticipated arrival of the police drew closer, Ben and John reviewed the details of their discovery, ensuring they were ready to provide a comprehensive account to the officers. They went over the sequence of events, the location of the fabric, and the condition of the animal, committed to ensuring the authorities had all the information needed to understand and act on the situation effectively. The sound of the animal ambulance breaking through the evening calm signaled the arrival of much-needed assistance. Dr. Green, with his team in tow, approached the site with a sense of urgency. Ben and John, relieved by their arrival, stepped aside to allow the professionals access. The sight of the ambulance and the vet team brought a new wave of hope to the rescue effort. Dr. Green, upon seeing the animal, immediately assessed its condition with a trained eye. His reaction conveyed the gravity of the situation, prompting him to act quickly. With a blend of concern and professionalism, he began to evaluate the creature's needs, signaling his team to prepare for immediate intervention. His expertise was evident, instilling confidence in Ben and John that the animal was in capable hands. Ben quickly briefed Dr. Green on their discovery, including the moment they found the piece of fabric. He handed it over, making sure the vet understood its potential relevance to the animal's condition. Dr. Green listened intently, nodding as he integrated this new piece of information into his assessment. The exchange was crucial, bridging the gap between the initial discovery and the ongoing rescue operation. With a clear understanding of the situation, Dr. Green instructed his team on how to safely transport the animal to the ambulance. His directions were precise, focusing on minimizing stress and discomfort for the creature. The team moved efficiently, gently lifting the animal with care and expertise. This action marked the beginning of the professional care the animal desperately needed. Dr. Green's approach to the rescue was meticulous, from his initial assessment to his instructions for care. He asked Ben and John detailed questions about their discovery, ensuring nothing was overlooked. His dedication to providing the best possible outcome for the animal was evident, setting a high standard for the care it would receive. Ben and John watched, grateful for the vet's commitment to saving their unexpected charge. Dr. Green, while overseeing the animal's care, shared his observations with Ben, John, and the arriving officers about the recent uptick in animal injuries linked to illegal traps. This context was crucial for understanding the gravity of the situation and emphasized the need for thorough investigation. His expertise not only informed the rescue effort, but also aided the police in framing their approach to the case. The scene shifted with the arrival of law enforcement, marking a new phase in the unfolding event. The officers, upon arrival, immediately engaged with Ben, John, and Dr. Green, signaling their readiness to delve into the investigation. Their presence brought a sense of authority and seriousness, underscoring the potential criminal elements involved in the animal's plight. The police took special interest in the piece of fabric discovered by Ben and John. Handling it with care, they noted the initials embroidered on the material, recognizing it as a significant lead. This clue was a pivotal point in the investigation, offering a tangible link to possible suspects. The officers documented their findings, preparing to trace the initials back to their source. Ben and John provided a detailed account of their discovery to the officers, ensuring they had a clear understanding of the events leading up to their call. They recounted how they found the animal and the subsequent steps they took, including the vital decision to call for professional help. Their briefing was thorough, equipping the police with the necessary background to pursue the investigation further. As the officers began their investigation, Dr. Green extended an invitation to Ben and John to visit the animal once it was on the mend. This gesture highlighted the vet's appreciation for their efforts and his commitment to keeping them involved in the animal's recovery process. It also underscored the forming bond between the rescuers and the rescued, promising a continued relationship beyond the immediate crisis. The police took a moment to specifically acknowledge Ben and John's quick thinking and decisive action. Their initial discovery and subsequent call for help were highlighted as crucial steps that set the rescue operation in motion. This recognition served to underscore the importance of community vigilance and the significant impact their involvement had on the outcome of the situation. With a clear outline of their next steps, the officers explained to Ben and John the process of conducting a DNA scan on the fabric. This plan showcased their thorough and methodical approach to the investigation. The detail in their strategy conveyed a strong commitment to solving the case, demonstrating the importance of using every available piece of evidence to track down those responsible. Ben and John received commendation from the officers and the surrounding community for their roles in the rescue. Their quick response and compassionate action were celebrated, casting them as pivotal figures within the unfolding narrative. This recognition not only highlighted their bravery, but also served as a reminder of the impact that individuals can have when they take action in the face of adversity. The officers made a promise to keep Ben and John updated on the progress of the investigation. This commitment to communication signified an ongoing collaboration between the rescuers and law enforcement, ensuring that the two men remained integral to the process. It reflected a broader understanding of the importance of keeping concerned citizens informed and involved. Despite the day's events, Ben's connection to the rescued animal remained strong. Deciding to leave Milo in John's care for the time being, he demonstrated his deep commitment to staying involved with the case and ensuring the animal's well-being. This decision reflected his ongoing concern and his willingness to be a part of the animal's recovery journey, highlighting his compassionate involvement in the aftermath of the rescue. Upon Ben's arrival at the veterinary clinic, he was immediately engulfed in a whirlwind of activity. The clinic's staff moved with purpose, attending to various emergencies with urgency. This hectic environment underscored the gravity of the situation and the clinic's crucial role in animal care. Ben navigated through the bustling corridors, determined to find Dr. Green and learn about the tanuki's condition. Ben approached the reception desk, asking for Dr. Green and the tanuki. His concern was evident, reflecting his deep investment in the animal's welfare. The staff recognized his interest and directed him towards the treatment area, where Dr. Green was overseeing the recovery of the animals under his care. Ben's persistence highlighted his dedication to ensuring the tanuki received the best possible treatment. Dr. Green emerged to meet Ben, providing an update on the tanuki's condition. The news brought a wave of relief to Ben, reassuring him that the animal was responding well to treatment. Dr. Green's detailed explanation sparked Ben's curiosity about the tanuki, a creature he knew little about. This exchange was a moment of connection between Ben's concern for the animal and the vet's expertise. Dr. Green revealed the animal's identity as a tanuki, an exotic species unfamiliar to Ben. This unexpected discovery added a layer of intrigue to the rescue operation. Ben listened intently as Dr. Green explained the tanuki's origins and the circumstances that had led to its predicament, including its entrapment in an illegal trap and subsequent burial by a poacher looking to evade capture. Dr. Green commended Ben for his swift action, emphasizing how it had been instrumental in the tanuki's survival. This recognition of Ben's efforts highlighted the significant impact of their timely intervention. Dr. Green's acknowledgement served as a testament to the positive outcome of their combined efforts, underscoring the crucial role of community members in wildlife rescue and conservation. The police, using the evidence collected during the rescue, successfully apprehended the individual responsible for setting the illegal trap that caught the tanuki. This arrest marked a significant achievement in the investigation, demonstrating the effectiveness of collaboration between the community, law enforcement, and veterinary professionals. The perpetrator's capture was a direct result of the diligent efforts to save the tanuki and bring justice to light. The tanuki, once a victim of a cruel trap, played a crucial role in identifying the criminal behind its suffering. This unexpected contribution underscored the broader significance of the rescue operation, extending beyond the immediate welfare of the animal to aiding in the enforcement of wildlife protection laws. The tanuki's ordeal became a key element in ensuring the perpetrator faced the consequences of their actions. Ben took the opportunity to visit the zoo, where the tanuki had been safely relocated to its new habitat. Watching the animal explore its surroundings, Ben reflected on the entire adventure, from discovery to rescue, and now to seeing the tanuki thrive. This moment offered him a chance to ponder the impact of their actions, providing a sense of closure and fulfillment. The successful rescue of the tanuki and the apprehension of the individual responsible reaffirmed the vital roles played by Ben and his dog Milo in the events. Their quick thinking and compassionate response not only saved the tanuki, but also contributed to upholding the law. This recognition served as a reminder of the importance of community involvement in wildlife conservation and criminal justice. The story concluded with Ben recognizing the wider implications of their actions on wildlife protection and community safety. The successful resolution of the case was a testament to the power of collective effort and the positive outcomes that can be achieved when individuals take a stand against wrongdoing. It highlighted the importance of vigilance and compassion in making a difference in the world around us.